Alright, alright, alright. I don't think anyone's here yet, and yet I'm ready to stream. I'm ready to play some Mahjong. So let's hop right into it. There we go. I will be doing this in a little smaller window, which means the quality is going to be a little bit lower, but that's okay, I think. So a very standard first turn from everyone. I'm waiting to see when they start dropping more middle tiles. My starting hand, this is looking pretty fantastic. If I can get a pair in here, I'd be happy, but honestly, a pair basically anywhere except the 6, 7, 8 group. This is basically just like gonna stay as it is. Okay. I was looking at keeping that 6, 8 just because of the small chance of a 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku, but I just have way too many groups. It's not worth keeping that one. I'm dealer, I want a fast hand. I can easily go Pinfu here. There we go, that can definitely become my pair. Let's turn off calls for now. Well, let's actually not turn off calls because that way on a 2, 3, 4, you know, I could call on a 4. But it seems I don't need to worry about that. If I want to make Pinfu more likely, I drop a 2, 3 here, but I think, sorry, a Tanya here, then I drop a 2, 3, but I think I want to make just getting Tempai a little bit easier. So I'm going to do that. And I will turn off calls now, force Pinfu, and have Richi Dora 2. Or Richi Pinfu Dora 2, I mean. Tripping over my words already. The 9 looks like it's going to be much safer than the 8. The 8, of course, safe over here, but, you know, zero information on it from either of these two players. Whereas the 9, this player's at least dropped an 8. This player's dropped their 9, of course. And the 7 is close by enough to make me feel safe holding on to it for a second. If they call Richi, I'll still probably be dropping this 9. The 9-1, again, less safe than the 9-pin here, I think. Okay, that's Tempai. It could be a 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku. I will absolutely reach this. My opponents probably think that I'm going for Sotile Honitsu. They'd be surprised to find out that I'm waiting on pin tiles. I think that they could very, very, very easily drop a 1 or 4 pin for me. And if they drop that 4 pin, oh, I got that Sanshoku ready. You know I'm hitting them hard with that. Oh yeah, I can turn off the starting soon. I'm a fool. Easy as that. Simple Baimon. Fantastic way to start the game. If I get a 6-mon here, I'd be very happy. Though I could also get a 4-8-mon as well and just build out in those directions. Yeah, I'm not really going to be using that one, surely. I'd rather keep the north for safety for just a second. This 3 is also probably going to go. Ooh. I'm going to cut this 8. I like keeping that because then if I draw a 7, then I have one full group and one partial group set up. But at the same time, I do have 4 pairs. And I could look at the possibility of a Chitoitsu. I love myself a Chitoi too. I'd be happy to go for it. Another option for this hand, if I draw a 4-pin, then this could just be 3, 4, 5, like a 5, 6, 7. Ooh. Okay, hang on. That might make me reassess some things. I will be dropping this 5. It's likely to be safe. That early 7 drop and then the half Suji on the 2, I think that 5 is perfectly fine. It will allow me to hold on to this slightly safer tile for longer and be able to use it against someone else, hopefully. Oh, and now I can look more at the... Oh, hang on. Do I want to drop the 8? Or do I just drop the north? I'm going to just drop the north. I think the tile that I'm looking most at picking up, if I can, would be a 7-mon. I feel like that's the tile most likely to deal in and also the one that's most likely for other players to have. And at this point, I think I'm just forcing the not Sanshoku, the Chitoi. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that 8. I'm not worrying about that 6, 7, 8 group. Who needs it? With this hand, you're just going for Chitoi, and that's it. Okay, that's Tenpai. Again, I'm a little bit worried on the 7. The 6, at least I have half Suji on, which is basically nothing, but basically nothing is better than actually nothing. I'm not calling Richi yet because I could get a better tile to wait on, or you know what? I just take that. It's not a big hand, it's just, you know, Sumo Chitoi, but I do also get their point stick as well, adding a little bit more to it. Got 55,000 right out the gate. Like, I'm crushing it here already. If I get a 3-mon, I'd be very, very, very happy. So they're trying to go with a quick hand, possibly just Southwind and nothing else. We'll see. Yeah, if I get the 3-mon, then that's Tenpai with Binfu. If I get a 6-mon, I'd also be happy with that, because that's, you know, that's the Ipeko. That's that pure double sequence. If I get a 9-mon, I'd have to think about whether or not I want to call Richi. And I think I probably wouldn't. I'd probably look more at just, like, not dealing in. I could have also looked at calling that 8 and just going for a Tanyao. Left this as a pair. And yeah, left these group 7s as a pair. Had this nice 2, 4, 6 group that can benefit from a 3 or a 5. Okay, well, I definitely dropped this, but I want to think more about how I want to build this hand. This helps me in case I get a 3 or the last 6. I don't need that. We could go Chitoi again. You know what? No. Let's not be that silly. Let's not be that silly. This is a perfectly fine hand. I don't need to worry about a Chitoi. Like, the reason I was thinking Chitoi is it is a nice defensive hand that can let me easily push while avoiding dealing in. But I just don't really think that the chances of that working out would really be too high. Like, okay. So 2-mon, 3-pin, 6-pin. I think I take that. I think opponents might be willing to drop a 3-pin. This player especially, their discards are looking like it. Or I can just Sumo again. Sure. 3 in a row. Let's go. God, this is such an insane start so far. Surely all of my games are going to go like this. Surely they will. Forever. They'll never stop. See, if I could pick up a 6-mon here, I'd be happy. I think a 7-pin might be similarly good. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't much matter between 7-pin or anything around this 5, because then I just have too many groups. I got some great stuff to build off of. I'm not going to worry about the Dora. I'm in the lead. I don't need that value. I'm already assuming this player's going Honitsu. Alright, let's see. If I can draw a 7-pin, I'd be very, very happy. Ooh, okay, okay. I will simply not deal in. He gave me some double Suji there. I know you don't have a 3 and 4 waiting on the 5, and I know you don't have a 6 and 7 waiting on the 5. Could you have had a single tile wait? Sure. I don't have the information to think that, you know, this 5 would be any riskier than this red dragon. Alright. This, of course, will go next. 8-pin is safe against this player and this player, so that would have been the next tile. I don't have to worry about that. It's only East 2, and already somebody's down this low. We can easily end the game. As long as we get a good hand to do that with. It looks like they're just trying to to go with the speedy 1-hon hand. Maybe more, maybe this could be a Honitsu. Maybe they got some extra value in there somewhere, but... Yeah, I'll definitely just drop this too. It's not really doing anything. I guess, okay, it kind of was, I guess, because I could have had 2, 3, 4, and then left this as a 5, 7, 9 that can benefit from a 6 or an 8. But I think I just prefer to have my tiles to build off of. Oh, hang on. 9's definitely my weakest now. I don't see these 5s really being my pair. I just don't. I got this, I got this. And honestly, I'm not going to worry about pushing anyway. They gave me that nice double Suji shape again. Let's go ahead, drop this 5. They're not going to need it. Thank you for Suji on the 1. Again, the only way they could have won on that would have been if they had a single 1-pin waiting on the, you know, waiting on any of the others, but didn't see that being the case. That's game already. Let's go. I keep forgetting that Mahjong Soul added the one more match thing. But that's fine. I'll simply go to the menu and then click manually. So I'm really hoping that this one starts very similarly to the last game, of course. Like, starting off with a dealer Baimon, I should just do that every time. I think it's foolish not to, honestly. Alright, let's see. We got some good shapes here. I am going to need to build one other group somewhere. Whether I get a 7-mon or a 3-so, I'd be happy with either of those. I don't know that the 9-so is really gonna do much for me. Could... Alright, you're already dropping your Dora. Drop my East first. Nobody wanted to call that one, so I'll hold on to this just for another second. Okay, 3-so, that's fantastic. Let's go ahead, get rid of the Dora. I'm not gonna need it. I can just push this with a small one-han Richi only hand. I at least have some Fu here in the Souths, making it a little bit more than 1,000 points, but like, that's not, it's not gonna be much more. And that's perfectly fine. Sadly, not the Baimon that we had last game. I do want to look at dropping the 7-pin very soon, because I don't want to immediately discard that once I hit Tenpai. Otherwise, it might be much more obvious that I'm waiting on a 6 or 9. So let's drop that there. Keep this nice safe tile. Tumon, I don't need that. Get out of here. Thinking basically the same thing here with 3. Like, efficiency-wise, of course, it's better to keep these tiles, the 3-so and the 7-pin. Because I could get a triplet of these 5s, or I could have gotten a triplet of, you know, the 7-pin or the 3-so. But it's not all about efficiency here. Sometimes you just want to set your discards up so your opponents will be more likely to deal in. Now, I am a little bit worried on that 3, so I'm not going to worry about keeping my safety tile any longer. And this hand is not big enough to look at folding. I'm going to go ahead and drop the north here, and then after that, I'm going to start dropping these souths. I can also drop the 1-mon. The 1-mon I know is safe. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that first. I guess it didn't much matter, because both of these players already dropped one, so it didn't matter whether I dropped it now or later. Souths can go now, though. Hi, Cass! Yeah, this is my 13 Orphans hand, as you can see. My very normal 13 Orphans hand. That would be scary if I wasn't already folding. So 3-so, 6-mon, both of those already safe. I'll pay a couple points here, and that's okay. Who needs the 1500? How do I feel about these groups? I kind of don't really like them. The 5-5-6, of course, that's great. I definitely like that to be able to build off of it. This 8-9, I'm not a fan of. The pair of 1s are, they're fine. Honestly, I should just look at dropping the Dory here, because otherwise I don't see this hand being fast enough to... I don't see myself being able to use this and complete the hand fast enough before anyone else actually manages to complete theirs. Right now, though, you know, I should have actually looked at this just before dropping it, but that's okay. I'm seeing the possibility here of a cheat toy. I'll still drop this north. Okay, this is not a hand that I'm going to be pushing with. The 7-so is likely to go. The Souths are likely to go. In fact, yeah, I'll just start with these. You know, there is a very, very small chance that I could push for a Nagashimangon. Do I think it's likely to happen? Of course, 100% guaranteed. Absolutely not. But the possibilities there, technically, I'm gonna have to draw a lot more terminals and honors. I'm not worried about the visibility of my folding. Like, it's either that or I discard tiles that I don't know are necessarily safe. Like, I could have dropped this one pin earlier. I wasn't worried about that. Because I didn't want them to have like a 1-4 weight or something. I think the big thing with folding is just making sure that you have options for later. Because obviously if you only have like a couple of safe tiles, then you don't want to just discard those ones immediately and, you know, not be able to discard anything else safe later. Ooh, okay. Okay. We're back. But yeah, like, and early on that's kind of hard though, so it's just easier to, I mean, I don't know, I just drop what comes to my brain. But yeah, the one pin felt like it was going to be safe for later, but not necessarily right then. Anyway, let's focus on this hand. I don't really got much. This 9-so is likely to go. Yeah, you know me. I play on instinct, mostly, partially. These discards to my right are real interesting, starting off with 3 different 6s. That one could help if I draw a 3. I guess I'll get rid of this 8. I don't see this being a fast hand. I might just drop these 1s. Because I feel like if I want to push this hand, I might just need the Akuhai. And yet I'm still dropping them just because of the Chitoi chance. Ugh. That doesn't sound like me at all. I would never say anything like that. Let's see. I'm worried about a Chanta over here. I'm worried about Honi too. It's nice to at least have this 9-mon out of my hand right now, because otherwise it would be very dangerous over here later. Let's keep the west for safety. Yeah, I think these ones gotta go. That, or I might even just drop some middle tiles in order to just leave these to fold with later. This hand looks bad. We're doing that. The 7 pins I think go next. Yeah, again, I'm still really thinking that this player's going for Honitsu. Alright. Well, I'm glad that I'm already folding. Because now I don't gotta worry about you. Start with these 1s, just in case they would get dangerous over here later, in case that's a Chanta and not a Honitsu. Thank you for playing the 2. That makes another safe tile for me. They finally dropped their first Mon tile. They're probably getting close to Tempai if they're not already there. Actually, the one says, well, that's fine. I'll drop the west first. Yeah, get rid of those wests. I don't know if I've improved or not, because I feel like I just look at, like, only Honitsus in the discards. I still struggle with reading, like, Toi Toi and Chitoi. Alright, alright. So the 7 so is likely safe here. Hang on. I gotta just drop it. The timer wasn't waiting as long as I would like it, but that's okay. Now, I don't want this to be a game where I just continuously lose points because of not being in Tempai at the end. God, it's still East 1. What do I want to go for here? A 4-so would be good. I was about to say a 2-pin as well would be like one of the best tiles I could pick up, so let's go. I don't necessarily need the 4-so. It would be nice. It would be, but like I can also get a 6-so as well, or even a 7. I'd be happy with that. Now the 4-so basically is necessary, so that has changed very quickly. If I get a 7 Mon, I'm also pretty happy. Then I could be looking at dropping this 1. Okay, well that's something. That's at least something for my hand. Let's drop that 8. I don't need that. This doesn't look like it's going to be a big hand. Probably just, you know, East only. I'm going to do something here. I want to lean this a little bit more toward Pinfu, if I can. Which would mean dropping this East if I get that opportunity. 4, 6, 8. Am I willing to discard that 5 for that, though? I don't think I am. Or I don't think I'm willing to get rid of these East to hold on to that 5 I meant. So yeah, I think this is just, yeah, small one on hand. That's fine. I'll drop the 7, or drop the 4 to wait on the 7, set up the little Suji trap. I don't know that anyone's going to be willing to deal into that. Yeah, I should have looked at discards first. Maybe it would have been better not to set up the Suji trap. That way I could have possibly drawn like a 3-pin and had a nice 2-sided weight. Because 0-pin tiles discarded here or here. The 7, I'm basically just looking for this player to drop it. Or for either the 2 players to my sides to hit Tempai and start discarding tiles that, you know, would otherwise be pretty helpful. And yeah, 2 called honor groups. No pin tiles dropped. This player is definitely holding on to a 7-pin because like they're going Honitsu. Be pretty nice for them with the 2 honors because that's Mongon set up. Surely somebody's gonna drop a 7-pin. I was thinking for just a second about the possibility of just dropping the 6 to make it even more if I drop the 6, I felt that opponents could look at that like, okay, you're probably not going for tiles around there then, especially with the 4 discard earlier. But that's just playing a dangerous tile for no reason. Don't need it. Still feel like this is pretty safe. Thank you, thank you. You're so punny, Cass. Oh, I needed that. That's okay. You can win with your stinky little Mongon. Okay, hang on. These are pretty good groups to build off of. I feel like... well, hang on. Let me think here now. Because that might have just changed. I don't think it did. I'm going to look for a pair elsewhere than these 9s. Just because I feel like the 6 would benefit this group too much to worry about making it benefit this one. So I am Ishanten. If I get a 2-so, a 5-so, or a 3-mon, then that's Tenpai. It's just Richidori, nothing else. Only 2 Han. And now there's the shot of Pinfu. And the Itsu. Absolutely correct, Cass. Yeah, drawing a 6 or 9-mon here would leave me with a nice 3-sided weight with Pinfu Dora. That, I think, would be better than just getting the 1-mon and having the Itsu. Would it be better? Because, like, obviously getting the 1-so would guarantee value. That would be the most valuable hand I could get, but then I'd be worried about my opponents not dropping the 6 or the 9-mon for me. Though I say that, we have a 6 here, 2 9s here. I think they'd be pretty willing. I think just drawing the 1-so would be the best tile I could get. And of course, if I just draw a 7 or 8-mon, then I could just drop the other one, have a pair there as well. Oh! Okay. Or I can deal in. That's fine. It's a South game. I got time to come back. Let's see, 8-pin here, of course, would be fantastic. I should probably look at just keeping my Yakuhai for a second. Unfortunately, that wasn't as much of a baby hand as I would have hoped that they would have had. I would have hoped to have just gotten hit with just a small 1-Han hand rather than 3-Han from the dealer. Because 5,000 is not too small. I mean, I was looking at dropping the 7. I just think that both for efficiency, I'd much rather have these other tiles to build off of than drop any of them. And I'd like to keep this for safety. The 7, I don't see myself actually using it. Absolutely, Cass. You know what? You're so big-brained for that one. But yeah, the other reason why I wanted to not drop these is because I was looking pair. This could be a Chitoi, possibly. But at this point, I don't think it will be. I think I'm willing to just drop that and not worry about the Chitoi. If I get an 8-pin, then I could guarantee Pinfu. Again, with the very interesting discards to my right here. Not a single pin tile. Only middle tiles. And that 5 is fantastic. Let's go. That's huge. I'll keep the 7 for safety. I wanna... You know what? I'm gonna bet it on the big hand. The bigger hand, I should say. The mildly big hand of Pinfu Dora. I'd rather just keep this safety tile for another second. I didn't want to hold on to that 7 for... Ooh, hang on. Yeah, okay, that's looking pretty nice, actually. I'll drop this just in case this is a Chanta to my right. Scary. I don't like the fact that I have to discard the 7 if I want to push. I'm just going to drop my pair, because that should be much easier to replace, and I really don't want to deal in there. Yeah, they had that little Honitsu set up. Only a small little Honitsu. The small little half-flush Honitsu. Just a little baby 12,000 point hand. Alright, this hand I can absolutely win with. I'd love a 2-mon, I'd love an 8-mon. I could also deal with a 4-mon or 6-mon. I'd be happy with either of those. 7-pin, basically necessary, or you can get an 8-pin as well, I guess. As, you know, maybe look at possibly swapping out this 2. But no, I'm gonna look at dropping this 8 and 9 for right now, even though it's Dora. Drop this. Let's see. Yeah. Just drop that. Again, the 2-mon would be, like, basically necessary here. But then I'd have to very quickly figure out whether I'm dropping... Okay, well, hang on. I guess that might solve that. Do I just go... I might just go Tanyao. I'm gonna drop this group first. I'm in a bit of a rough spot here because I really got to get some value. And yet they are pushing with a very quick hand. They're probably in Tempai. 7, 8, 9. I'll just take that. This likely will not be the Tanya then. Which means I'm really going to hope to draw an 8-mon for Pinfu. Unless... Let's start with dropping this 2. The 9 looks like it's going to be safer. It's safe here, here. This player's dropped a 6. The only way that this player would be able to win on a 9 is if they had the last one. But keeping my safe tile doesn't matter when somebody else wins immediately. Wah. I think this is kind of deserved, though, after my luck last match. Ooh. Okay. I gotta win this one. I gotta push here. Let's go ahead and keep the west for safety for a second, because I'm not really going to be using that 9. If I draw an 8, so I'd be very, very happy. On 8-mon as well, this could become Pinfu, or that. Though that's less likely to become Pinfu because then I'd have to be willing to drop one of these, which would be giving up the whole value of Pinfu in the first place. Unless I still draw an 8-mon. The discards are looking pretty standard right now. Which honestly almost surprises me from this player. Because I feel like any time that I've looked over, they've been going for something silly. So I was honestly just really hoping to look over to my right and see that, well, you know, have more information over here. That foretells me something, though. Just a little bit. And that's Ishanten. I'm going to drop this 4. I'll leave myself with a nice 3-sided weight here. This is not going to be Pinfu, but this is going to be still just reach 3 Dora. I'm very happy with that. I want to take a look real quick. See like what their call rate is and stuff like that. Call rate 27%. I gotta take my turn though. Well, at this point, West is gonna be 100% safe. I don't have time to look. Okay. So waiting on the 5-8. I gotta reach. It's unfortunate that this one was dropped just beforehand. Because if they get the whiff that I might be targeting that, then they will not drop a second one. It really does, but also sometimes I've seen a couple players, like even here in the Jade room, that have like 50% call rate, and I'm like, how? How do you have that high? Why do you call so much? This player's not played a single East game. It's wild. But yeah, like this player, 35% call rate. What about you? You got 46% in the East rounds? Yeah, the player to my right has the lowest call rate here. What about myself? Where do I stand on that? Yeah, they're even lower than me. Two tiles left. I don't honestly think that my 5 or 8 is going to come up. Unless... No. You definitely do. Like, I remember watching you. I honestly don't remember exactly how much you would call. So I don't know if you're necessarily conservative in that regard, but I do remember just, like, how easily you would end up folding. Which is definitely smart to look more at folding than to not, I think. Let's see, if I get a 6, I'd be very, very happy getting to keep this Dora. Oh, that's rough. That's real rough. I'll drop my Souths in the chance of Pinfu. I don't want to entirely fold yet. Especially because, like, I don't really have tiles to do that with outside of those Souths. And it's the South rounds already. Like, I gotta look at making a comeback at some point here. I'm gonna cut this 3. It's the closest to what they've dropped already. Oh, that hurts. And the 6 would have been safe. Okay, it's 2 Hun. Again, that's not good. But it could have been much, much worse. Especially since they're dealer. Like, that could have possibly ended the game. If that were bigger. Give me Sanzo. Give me Sanzo. Give me Sanzo. I'm basically gonna need that. This could even be a 1-2-3 Sanshoku. Not likely now. Let's see. If I get the 3 sudden, there would be a chance of Pinfu again here. I would definitely be looking at dropping this 3. And of course, the best case scenario would just be drawing a 4-pin at that point, or alternatively, if I drew a 6, I'd be happy with that as well. I'm gonna cut one of these 3s. was thinking about cutting the 1 pin instead, but I think I like keeping this way, being able to get the 2 or the 4 rather than the 3 or 4. I can definitely cut the 1 and 2 at this point. I'll keep the 1 for safety for a second. If I get that 2 pin or 4 pin now, then that would be Pinfu set up. I wish I was Sanshoku gaming. I love myself a Sanshoku. Can't call that. Okay, 3, 5, 7. That would make it a little bit more likely to be Tanyao. In case I pick up a 7 pin. I would say also a 3 pin at this point, but since I've already dropped one, that might be risking for a 10. Probably not though, because then I would just be dropping these 9s anyway. So I guess the 3 pin would be fine. It would be the last one though. Somebody's gonna want this, and that's fine. Oh, they don't! Wow. I'm with you. I typically don't. If somebody's called Reichi, then I'll be a little bit more likely to look. I definitely should be looking, like, basically at all times, but I just can't really get myself to do that either. I gotta push here. Like, that 4 was very, very dangerous, but, like, what else was I gonna do? Sit at 6,000 forever? I'm 1 away from Tenpai with Pinfu. Yeah, so there we go. I gotta reach. Alright, that's more points on the table for me if I can win this. Let's go! And I hit the Uradora. 3,900 points. It might not be much, but you know what? That's going to be the start of the comeback. This is where it's going to happen. Let's see. If I get a 3 pin, I'd be very, very happy. 6 of course, would be very nice as well, though I could get a 4-so or an 8-so and be just as happy. Maybe not just as happy, because it wouldn't put me closer to Tenpai. But it would still be very, very good. This 8 is very likely to go. These are likely to just stay as my pair. I'm going to hold on to that west for safety. And while this 4 is basically just a better one, if I end up picking up a 3, then I could still build off that 4 as well. Though, at that point, would I was thinking at that point, would I be willing to drop my safety tile for that? And I don't think I would have anyway. But especially now that I picked up that 3 to help this 5-7 setup, there's no way that that 1 was going to really do anything for me. Definitely drop the south. The west is going to be much safer. 2 of them have already dropped it. Basically, the only way that somebody could win with my west is if this player specifically was going for 13 orphans. I can tell you right now, they are not going for 13 orphans. I'm cutting my safety here. I can look for a pair elsewhere, possibly, and maybe build off this as a group. It just makes it more likely for Pinfu to happen, which I gotta look at getting whatever value I can get here. So I'm gonna cut this 5-7 instead. Best tile I can get would still be the 3-pin. Of course, I can't really just call that. That really helps as well. Because now I can drop that 2 and 4 if I feel like... You know what? I do feel like the 7 is going to be safer. This player hasn't dropped a single pin tile. I'd be very hesitant to drop that 2 and 4 later. Okay. I don't think you're going to be going for Green Dragon. You're probably not going for the 7, though. That's, again, very nice because that makes it more likely to get Pinfu. It's basically guaranteed as long as I can hit Tempai. I don't trust the 1 pin here because that 2 came out very late. I should also turn off calls. I don't know why I've had those on. Oh. I don't see you going for that, most likely. Most likely, of course, does not necessarily mean guaranteed. That's okay. I could have dealt in with the East. And you know what? Let's look on the bright side here. On dealer. This is my shot to catch up. And you know what? This is a pretty decent hand to do that with as well. I'm not going to immediately call him that white because I'd like to be able to call Ricci here. If a second white comes up, I'll really have to consider that. And I think I would probably just take it, go with the 3 Han hand, since I have Dora and Dora here. But for now, I'm going to hold off because I think I can get this as a closed hand. Which character are you talking about? Are you talking about this one? Because, God, I really want her to. I've rolled for her so many times, and I just can't. She is. I'm definitely not, like, complaining about my gacha luck, though, because I've had some great gacha luck outside of, like, going for a couple very specific characters like her. Alright, hang on. There is a chance. You know what? This might seem silly. I'm dropping my whites. I'm again maximizing the chance of Pinfu here. Leave myself with that safety tile on the east. Could have also done the same with the white dragon, which would have been really just about as safe. But let's see. I don't necessarily need the Tumon. I want to keep that. Because if I want to look at my value... Oh! Alright. I need a Yakuman. I don't actually need a Yakuman. If I just want to avoid last, I could get a Baimon. Now, that's still not great. This hand, let's see. I see a Chanta possibility. I'm gonna cut out this white first. There's a Chanta possibility. There's a Sanshoku possibility of 1, 2, 3. There is the flush chance. I don't see the full flush happening, but a half flush I could see. I do think my biggest hand that I can really feasibly get here would be like Chanta Sanshoku. No, half would not be enough. Or at least I would need a lot more than just the flush itself. Because even if I had like the half flush and Itsu, and I could keep the hand closed, then that would just be 6 Han with Ricci. I'm not keeping this 4. Which I guess the... Okay, hang on. We're Chanta Sanshoku Gaming. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, 6 with Ricci. It's still really just as big as the half flush would have been. Which means that I basically need to just win off this player if I want to avoid last place. And of course, that's if I can keep my hand closed and win with Ricci. Somebody's going to want this. I don't think it's going to be this player, but they definitely could have. I couldn't have used it though, and I really obviously need to push here. 4-pin just is not going to do it for me. Yeah, I just don't see like any other possibility this hand really could have taken to have gotten the value that it needed. I'll keep that for safety now. I really just got to draw the 2-so and the 7-mon. Like, there's no getting around that. I mean, I'll keep the white, I guess. It's technically safer, I think. Because again, the only way that this player could have won off the white dragon here is if they are going for 13 orphans, which they are not. That's fine. I don't mind dealing in there. I had to push. Oh. I guess with that being the door, I wouldn't have necessarily needed to call Ricci. It would have helped to possibly gotten the Baimon. Because then if I hit Uradora, then that would have worked, but I did what I could. I made a very valiant effort there. Alright. I'll be right back. I gotta go use the bathroom real quick. Alright. Oh. I am refreshed, rejuvenated. I'm gonna win this next one. Thank you. But yeah, definitely like it hurts a little bit to lose that last one so badly. But also I've been on like such a fucking huge win streak lately. It's perfectly fine to knock down. You don't usually see an Akagi player. That event was so long ago. I gotta check the stats. I gotta see the call rate now. What's the call rate like, buddy? 50%. That's East only, but still. Alright, here, let's see. I don't really need these Souths. I say that, and then all of a sudden I realized I was in the south seat. I shouldn't have been paying attention to their stats. I should have been paying attention to my hand for a second. But that's fine. Typically, I don't like my Yaku high anyway, so like I definitely could have just dropped those at some point throughout this. How do I feel about that? I'm gonna drop this 1 and 2. There's a chance here of Painfu Tanyao. Which both of those are exactly the reason why I don't typically like my Yakuhai. That's nice, that's nice. Other tiles are more likely to end up as my pair, so I'm not going to worry about keeping that 2 for right this second. I guess Pinfu isn't really likely to happen unless I just, like, draw 2 or 6 fin immediately. Or 6-0 as well. Tanyao, I would say, would be a little bit more likely. Kind of. Not really. Never mind. Especially now. Though, of course, now there's that Ipeko chance. Let's take a look. What are my opponents doing? Not seeing Mon tiles across from me. That's a Honitsu sign. Not seeing pin tiles over here, though they've basically only dropped edge tiles. There we go. Now this could be Pinfu Tanyao. At the very least, it's Tanyao. What I would really love to pick up, though, if I can pick up this 6-pin, Pinfu, Tanyao, Ipeko, and all my opponents are dropping So tiles, I think I could very easily get this 5-8. I'd be sitting real pretty if I drew that. 4-pin as well wouldn't be bad. It would be basically the same, it's just minus the Ipeko, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, this player still has not dropped a Mon tile, so again, I'm very suspicious of a Honitsu across from me. Okay, I'll start with this 9. For them, they've at least left Suji on the 3, so there's a good chance that this would be safe. Yeah, I'll even drop it over the 7. I might end up dropping these 4s to not deal in, but it depends on what all I get. Thank you, Crisis Cannibal! Nice to see you! But trust me, I've been playing Mahjong for long enough to know about the frustrations that come with it. Okay, so that would be Ipeko. The 7 at least has Suji now because this player's dropped the 4. I mean, I'm a new Mahjong Soul streamer. I'm just not new to Mahjong Soul itself. Last time I streamed was about like 6 years ago, so just have not really been on that side of things. Yeah, and even then, like, that was just a single stream 6 years ago. Before that, it might have been like 10, maybe even 12. I haven't streamed in so long. It's good that you're catching this stream, though, instead of the last one, because there were some technical issues. Stream was ridiculously laggy. Let's see. I can keep my Yaku high for a second. I can drop my 9-mon. Yeah, the hand was good, but, like, I'm perfectly happy to just lose it as well. Like, no one gained many points there's still points up on the table for me to grab. This hand is looking pretty nice itself, so like I can make some back, or I can, you know, win those points back here. I think I do keep that 1 just in case I draw 2. This 8, I think, is maybe the worst thing in my hand, outside of maybe the Yakuhai. I'll still drop Yakuhai. Surely, if I called Ricci, my opponents would have dealt in. Nah, somehow I don't think that one would have worked out. But maybe. Maybe it would have just willed it more into existence. 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's fantastic. I still think this is probably the worst thing I have. The best tile I could pick up at this point would be a 2-pin, it would be a 6-pin, a 4-pin. Well, actually a 4-pin would probably be better than the 6 because of the possible Ipeco chance. I can take that. I'm gonna say fuck this one. I don't need that. I love Akagi's quiet little roam compared to everyone else just like shouting it. Unfortunately, I didn't exactly want to hear it there. I would have liked to have been the one to have called it, but you know what? I'm still ahead. Right? It is. Like, there's... it instills fear to be that calm and collected about it. I think I just dropped this 1 and 2 because I could be going for a Chitoy. I got pair, 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 pair. The 1 and 2 I think is just my worst setup here. I'm looking at this, and you know that my very first thought is, what are the chances of me drawing a 9-pin and going for Sanshoku? Yeah, certainly just like never pay any attention to your opponents. Even if they call a Roan, just don't worry about it. Just keep going as if they hadn't. Pay 0 attention to them ever. Mahjong is a solo game after all, famously. Let's see. I'm a little bit worried about a Honitsu here to my left, especially with that called group of honors. I haven't dropped a single pin tile, but they don't have to be going for that. I don't honestly like my chance here of the Chitoy, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just willing to drop that 9, leave this as a possible 5, 6, 7, end this as a 6, or 7, 8, 9, I mean, and I did get the 5, 6, 7. Okay, okay. I'll drop this now. This is most likely going to be my pair, and then I'll build off of one of these 2 groups. That's my plan anyway. Dropping the 8-pin, I don't know... I don't actually believe they're going for the Honitsu at this point. Either that or they're like in Tempai. I gotta watch their discards a little bit more closely. Okay. That's Beanfu set up. I can go for my 6 or 9. I don't know that my opponents would deal in if I call Ricci. I want to wait for them to push just a little bit more. If I see them push a little bit more, then I can call Ricci and expect them to deal in. And, you know, we do have the shot here of the Ipeco. We didn't get it last round, we can get it this one. Oh! You're right! I didn't even realize I was in the gold room. I thought that I was in the jade room still. Oops. My mistake. I'm so used to going to the gold room. I only hit this is mostly for Crisis Cannibal, since you don't know. I just hit Master the other day, and so I'm so used to playing in the gold room at this point that I just kind of naturally, I guess, went there. But this is fine. Just a little late. Just about 10 years too late. That's fine, though. Listen, being late doesn't matter. The sentiment is highly appreciated. "10 years of Mahjong is 11 years too many." See, I don't know. I think I might have said something similar a couple years back, but like... It's just such a good game. Mahjong's so good sometimes. Can it do damage to the human spirit? Yes. But sometimes you can learn to live with that damage. Sometimes you can learn to love that damage. So let's see. This hand, honestly, I'm not really liking my shapes here. This is one I'm honestly looking a little bit more at folding, which is why I want to keep that 4 and maybe, possibly, lean toward a Chitoy if I can get that. I don't like this 2-4 group. I don't like this 2-4 group. I don't like all these pairs. At least that helps one of those groups. If I can get a 3-cell, then I think I would be okay. It wouldn't be good. I still don't know that I'd be really happy with pushing this hand. But it would be okay. So I think I look at just keeping that for safety. I'm honestly, this player already calling tells me I should just fold this one. I'm not seeing this one happening. Oh, and I would have had the tile that would have made it okay. But that's fine. We're already folding. We'll just continue folding. I'm okay with it. Ooh, okay. I'm real glad that I've started to fold, because that's looking very dangerous over there. Yeah, Chitoy's great. Chitoy is... it gets a bad rap sometimes, I feel. I see a lot of people just, like, openly hate on Chitoy for being so hard to complete, but, like, it's so good defensively. What's funny is that despite the folding, I am still Ishanten. And I'm gonna call this. Yeah, I'm gonna call this. We have 11 tiles left. I don't care that I don't have a Yaku. I just want to be in Tenpai, if I can. That's a little bit scary across for me. But I didn't think they would be going for it. Hell yeah. I don't know where I'm at for consecutive days. I know I missed a couple this year. The 6 should be fine. But I know I have the exemplar title, so I have... Is that over 1,000, I believe? There's a 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku chance here. It's small. But I'll hold on to this 1-so for a second and drop my Yakuhai. It's so small that the 1-so is definitely going to be the next on the cutting board. Or, actually, I think this 1-mon is. Because with this 1-so, if I end up picking up a 3, then it's connected to this 5. It would make that a nice 1-3-5 shape that could benefit from a 2 or a 4. You know, Cass, there is an easy way to fix that. Hop on Mahjong Soul. You should do it. Wait, really? I didn't know that. That's good for this 1-3 shape, but at the same time, like, I don't want it to be sharing that 4. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop these 8s. Or at least that 8. If I draw a 7, then I'll really have to think. If I draw a 7, I think I just drop this 5. I think that's what I do. Wormon. Well, this can be Tanyao. So let's look at making it Tanyao. I can call tiles now. It would only be a small hand. That's fine. And of course, I would have immediately drawn the 2. Oh. Oh, Mahjong. Why you like this? Okay. That's worrying. I don't like that Ricci. These 2s, I think, are the most likely to go. I think they would be the most likely to go anyway, even if they didn't call Ricci. I don't think that's true, but, like, they were definitely pretty high up on that list. Oh, that's fine. I mean, the efficiency in full training tools, like, they're definitely not the same as just playing Mahjong, but it's still, I mean, it's basically playing Mahjong. Basically, kind of. I'd say close enough. Yeah, this is a hand that I think I might just want to go Tanya with. I don't really see this hand being too fast otherwise. Yeah, I think I gotta just do that, even though it's only 1 Han. 2 Han now. Okay, well, I am a bit worried about the fact that I'm pushing, but I think it's okay. The 7-so I felt was a little bit safer than dropping the 6 because I did drop this early 9. Of course, that doesn't say much, just like it doesn't say much on the 6. But if I'm pushing and I don't have much information to go on, I think it's fine to go with this stuff that doesn't have much information, even if you deal in. Thank you. Take care, Cass. Alright, what do we got here? If I can get a 3-mon, I'd be happy. And even with that, that's pretty good as well. Like, this could definitely become Pinfu. I'm really gonna need that 3. Or at least a 5-mon. Or 7-mon, I guess. Okay, that's huge. Let's go. Drop this west. The white's looking a little bit safer for now. You know what? That is 100% true, and I was not thinking about it. I absolutely did have that information. Go ahead and drop this. So I am Ish on 10, but it's not great. Oh, I was hoping that would be safe with that 7 and 9 discard that they had. That's rough. That's rough. So I got these 2 pairs of Yakuhai here. Let's see, if I can get a 3-mon, I'd be or not 3-mon. If I can get a 4-mon, I'd be happy. I don't think I want to call that just this second. I want to think about how I want to build this hand. I'm just not really sure, because, like, I'd like to keep this, especially now. I'd like to keep these. I'd like to keep everything here. This is rough. I'm dropping the 7. I really, really like having that 5-7 shape, at least to build off of. But in like efficiency-wise, I would generally say cut this 8-9. You don't need that. But like, I'm in last place. I would really like to be able to use the Dora, which made me think about also cutting this 5 and 6 instead of the 5-7. In fact, I do have too many groups. I probably will be cutting all 3 of these, especially now. There is a chance of a Toy Toy or Chi-Toy here. I don't actually like that as a possibility. I think it's more likely to just be, you know, Yakuhai only. Well, Yakuhai and Dora, I should say. But I'm definitely going to be keeping these as a pair. You know, even if I pick up a 7, I'd be very happy just to have a pair of these. Alright, well, hang on. Let me think here. The 3-mon's looking like it'll come out. We are looking at Chi-Toy, despite what I just said. Sometimes I'll say things, and they'll be wrong. So let's see. I just don't think I can really call here, so I'll be turning that off. 7-mon. I'm worried about these across from me, so I will go ahead and drop that. They haven't dropped a single Mon tile, so I would be expecting them to go for Honitsu, especially with that honor call. Okay, let's go. 6-0. I think that can come up. 2, 3, 4, 5 Han, 6 if I call Reach. And I could call Reachy here. I did drop a 5 and 9 that they could look at as maybe like the 6 could be safe, especially with this player pushing though. That just depends on whether or not they would actually be needing that 6 itself. I'm still going for it. I'm in last place. I need the value. If this player pushes, they gotta drop at 6 at some point, and they are pushing. I was thinking about the 1-pin, but just like with 1 left, with so few tiles left in the wall, I was worried about it being in the dead wall. And especially like across from me again, it looked like they might be going for Honitsu. Well, hang on, I forgot. Were they going for Pin Honitsu, or did I think that they were going for Pin Honitsu or Mon Honitsu? Because never mind, I don't think that my reasoning made sense there if I thought they were going for Mon Honitsu. Let's see. But yeah, I felt that the 6 was pretty likely to come out there. It's unfortunate that I didn't make it there in time. And I think waiting on the 1 pin, like, it makes sense too. I'm not trying to say like, oh no, that's a bad play. Just not one that I personally would be comfortable doing right yet. This hand is looking pretty rough. Like, I got a lot of groups, and that's great. It's good to have a lot of groups. I just wish that they were better groups. I don't like this single weight here, or here, or here, or here. At least with the 5-7, I can easily build around it. Like, I could get a 4 or an 8. Okay, well that solves one of those groups. Let's cut this too. I think my 8-9 is going to go next unless I, of course, pick up a 7. Or if I pick up like another 8 or 9, in which case I think that this pair has to go. 3, 4, 5. That also might change that. Yeah, I think that does. I think that does change that for me. I'm worried about a flush again over here, waiting on so tiles. Seeing a lot of middle tiles and no so. Now the 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't really need that, but I'll still be dropping this 8, 9 just because I think it's more likely for me to get a 5, 6, or 8 pin to build around this. A 3 pin as well would give me a 3-sided weight, but that would be risking for a 10. This could... Let's see. I'm Ishanten right now. Do I think the 2 would come up? It just did. I think the Kamicha would also drop 1. I'm willing to go for it. I don't like that this hand is just Riichi only. I would really hope to get value elsewhere, but I just don't really see that happening. Unless I get a chance to call Con on these 8s.
No.
Oh. In the small chance the audio cut out there for a second, I accidentally disconnected my headphones. I don't think that would have affected the stream, but don't worry about it if it did. Now, of course, this group, I'm very happy with. I think that goes without saying. I'm gonna go ahead and drop these. Let's see. 4, 5, pair of 3s. If I can build around this 6, then this could be Pinfu. I'd be waiting strictly on the north. I think I would rather go for Pinfu, get some extra value here. I'm in last place and I need that value. This could also become Tanya if I can pick up a 4 pin, swap it out with this 1. I don't really see that being as helpful. Okay. Do this. It's just gonna be a lot more tiles around here that I can build off of. A 2, a 3, a 5, a 6. Any of those I'd be very, very, very happy with. could also pick up something around this 6 pin, or something around this 3. I don't need that. I'm just trying to get some value here. Something besides just Riichi. Four, 5. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. That would be it. Leaves me with a nice 3-sided weight. I'll absolutely take that. So reach, probably Pinfu, Dora. It's only not Pinfu if I pick up a 5 pin. But even then, I'm just happy to have this Dora. There we go. Let's go. Alright, that gives me a little bit more of a cushion. And I am dealer now. So this is my big comeback chance. And yet, I'm not sure that I really like this hand. That helps, because now this is more likely to just stay as a pair. I think this 4 can, well, just drop this 1 and 2 for now. Make this Tanyao. I'm going to be opening this hand with Tanyao. And so I want to go ahead and try to get extra value here if I can. So I wanted to try to get some extra Dora. I just didn't see this hand being fast enough without making that call. Well, not without that call specifically, but just without making calls in general. That call again was strictly for value. Even though it does risk my opponents being able to get Uradora, I think it was worth the risk. Don't need that. What I'm mostly looking for is just a 5-mon. If I can get that, I'm happy. If I get a 2-so, I'd also be happy. And in that case, I think I would go ahead and drop one of these 6s. That way this could be a 2, 3, 4, or it could just be a triplet of 2s. Preferably a triplet of 2 of the Dora, but... let's see. I'm expecting Honitsu again on my right. They haven't dropped a single pin tile, and they have called one. Okay. At this point, this goes. That's not Honitsu. Okay. That looks like a possible Sanshoku, or maybe just Tanyao. Drop this 7. Okay. That's rough. Yeah, it was the Sanshoku. Okay. We are nearing the end of the match. I am in last place. I gotta pass Colex here. I do feel pretty good about this hand. I need a 7-pin in order for it to, like, actually be worth much. Though I say that, maybe I don't, actually. If I can build off of either of these, then that's Pinfu. I think I'd be happier not dropping anything else right now, just worrying about, like, efficiency-wise, yes, it would be worth it to keep that 5 and have this 4-5-5 shape. But I think it makes sense to just not worry about having to drop anything else and keep this 4-5 shape as it is, and just swap out those 5s to have the extra value. I don't think I take that. It leaves it as a nice safety tile for a second, and I will be able to hopefully have Pinfu. I can draw something around either of these, and I did. Let's see. I am close to... Never mind. But that's okay. That's okay too. Because you know what? That's going to let me pass the other player. Akagi here is just running away with it. But hey, as long as I don't get last, I'm happy. I don't think I want to worry about that 9. I like keeping my Yakuhai here, I think. For just a second anyway. The question is, do I think I can actually use the Dora? And I don't think I can. I would hope to, but I don't think it's worth holding on to for later and possibly dealing in. And at this point, I actually don't like my Yakuhai, despite what I literally just said a second ago. Because I noticed that this hand could just as easily become Tanyao. If it becomes Tanyao, I don't need Yakuhai. Okay. So we're Ishanten. We're 1 away from Tenpai here. If I can get a 6-pin, I'd be very, very happy. I was thinking about possibly swapping out this 7-8 with that 3. Because that would make it more likely to get the Tanyao. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop that one. It would make it more likely to get the Tanyao instead of risking the 9-pin, but like, it's fine if I get the 9. That's fine. That is going to be Ricci, possibly Tanyao, waiting on a 1 or 4. Or I could wait on the 2 or 5, but I think I want to wait on the 1 or 4 there. I don't want to call Ricci just yet. I don't think the 1 is going to come out immediately. If I were to... Oh, that actually hurts. That's okay, though. I'll drop that 3. If I'd gone with the 2-5 weight, I would have just won right there. Well, won the hand, of course, not the match. Let's cut this. I don't remember what I was just saying. 3, 4, 5. There we go. That's some value. That's Pinfu setup. Right, that's what I was talking about. I was worried about if I called Ricci just after dropping this 2, then my opponents could very easily look at that as if I'm going for a 1-pin, which I very much am. And I don't want them to recognize that fact. I want them to have their doubts. So again, waiting strictly on the 1 or 4 pin. There it is. The 4 would have been better, but you know what? I happily take that. At this point, I just don't want to get last, so I am perfectly happy to move the game forward with a small hand and bring us into all last. Alright, the 7-8's great. This 1-3-5 is pretty good. I do have a lot of Dora. It's a small chance. It's a very, very, very small chance here, but I think it's possible to... Oh, hang on. That's a possible Sanshoku as well. But if I do that, then I have to drop this 5 and this 1. Or at least this 1, I could build off of this 5 instead. I don't think the Sanshok would be worth it here. But yeah, I was thinking that, like, it's a small chance, but there is still a chance, I think, that I can make the value to come in second if I win off the player to my left. I'd rather keep that as a 1-3-5. Yeah, I'm saying fuck the Sanshoku here. And... I'm even gonna say, just screw this 1 and 2. I don't need that. I don't want to be beholden to the 3-mon. I can build off of this. I can build off of this. There we go. I can build off that 5. Let's go. If I get a 2-pin, then I am very happy. But I could also build around this 7, in which case I would drop this 1-pin and this 3-so. Alright. That's a triplet Adora. So that might change things a little bit. I would happily drop this 1. That's 5 Han, 6 with Riichi. That would be enough if I won off this player to take second. Unfortunately, I can't really target players if I'm calling Riichi. But I gotta do it. Even if it hits someone else, like, I'm happy here. This was a better ending than the rest of the match made it seem like it might be. Now, unfortunately, one of my winning tiles is the door indicator. 2 of them are also out, so the chances of seeing the last one might be a little bit low. And I don't know that my opponents would be willing to drop a 6, but there are 4 of those that I can easily draw myself. Well, I guess 3 of those at this point. I gotta be honest, it's not looking good. Unless Haite? Nope. I was hoping. Oh. That was good, though. That was a good match. Being able to at least, you know, take back 3rd place, getting out of last. It wasn't a very strong match, but like I was happy to at least not lose, considering like how that match started. I made a very valiant effort there, actually, trying to take second. But my brain, to be perfectly honest, is very fried right now. So I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you for watching. Take care.